Hi, everyone, my tarot friends. Welcome to another play date. I am running a bit ragged this morning. It has been a very busy day. I am going to refresh and pause this over here so that we're not taking up any unnecessary bandwidth. Okay, I'm not as organized as I usually am because because it's been really busy. Okay, let's see if we can straighten us out just a little bit. How's that? All right, let me say hi. Oh my gosh, we have 40 people waiting. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So we have Elle. Hi, Elle, top mod in the room here. Sandra, the Whispering Well, another mod right behind her. Elizabeth, Lisa Amber, hello. Val's here. Hi. Corvin, working but here. Thank you for joining us in whatever way you can. Jamie, hello. Oh my gosh, I'm like, I'm really warm right now. Okay, let's see. I said hi. There's Susie. Hello. Let's see, who else do we have? Deirdre here. First live in the group. Welcome. I hope you enjoy it. I will walk you through it as we go. Naomi, hello. Okay, I'm scrolling. Becca, hello, darling. Oak Mama's here. Jennifer Ball, hello, my friend. All right, let's see. Keep on moving. Okay, I was like, surely I didn't make it to the end. No, I didn't. No, I did not. And my computer doesn't want me to scroll that fast. All right, let me get caught back up here. Let's see here. Boy, do we have stuff to talk about today. Okay, Tyken is here. Hi, Tyken Light Moon. Wendy Norden, hello. Can't make the live, but we'll catch up later. Well, hi and bye if you've already left. Bye. Donna Riedler's here, I think. I don't know if I said hi. Marina, hi. Robin, hi. Toadstool Tarot, for those who don't know who I'm saying hi to. Shane is here. Good morning, my son. Drop of Golden Tarot, hello. Chris at Elemental Cartomancy. Patrice, Sea Cat. I'm going to have to get going faster on this. Myrna, Sage Advice Shared. Whispers Healing. Hi, Asha. Let's see. Sean's here. John T is here. Don't jump. Chat. Neem Essence 818. Kim is here. Hi, Kimberly Meyer. Okay. All right. Breathe. Jackie Jacaranda. Ginger Faye. I think I said hi to Sea Cat. Richard Longman Tarot is here. Naris Wiccan 222 is with us. Kathy Peterson. We're going to have a fun play date today. Mendy, Artistry of Tarot. Hello, hello. Stephen Palmer. Nice to see you in here. Pamela Ramsey. Good morning. Did I catch up? Maybe. Jonathan. Aloha. If I missed anyone, I am so sorry. We have a fast-moving chat and 51 people already here. Simon. Hi, Simon. I don't know if you said hi earlier, but somehow I missed it. If you did, okay. All right. Let's do this, folks. So before we get started on this week's card, hi, Zane, Tarot Token Witchery. Last week, we pulled the Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, Jonathan. Now, for any of you who may have watched my channel in the last 24 hours, in fact, some of you may be with me for the first time in 24 hours, breathe. Oh, that's a very good reminder, Elizabeth. Sometimes I need literal reminders about that. But if you have watched my channel, you know I have been on a ride around the Wheel of Fortune this week, mostly happening in the last, 48 hours. But just to let you know how fast this card can move. So I have experienced all the ups and downs of the Wheel of Fortune in 1 week. I have experienced generosity and love, and I have experienced deceit and trickery. And, it just goes to show, like, what goes up must come down, but what goes down also comes back up. And when I shared my story, for those of you who don't know, there is a video that I posted last night. When I shared my story, the amount of love and support and sort of coming together that this community has done when somebody behaves in a way that we don't agree with because it was duplicitous, to say the least. I really appreciate that all of you took that in the spirit of which it was intended, which was really to inform, share my story so that other people can hopefully not experience the same thing. Now, I know that a lot of you, or a lot of people who saw that video, were really frustrated with me for not naming the person who I had my dealings with. And I just want to address this really quick, and then we're going to get on with our regular Playdate agenda. And really, there was one major reason I didn't do that on YouTube, and I just didn't want to give YouTube an excuse to take the video down, because I do want it to reach people. I want the story to reach people. And I really have made good on my word for anybody who has wanted to know who this person is. I don't think this person really even engages on YouTube. And in this community, I think it's very centered around Facebook. So I did share it in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. I shared it in Simon's The Hermit's Cave Facebook group. I commented on the video he posted there. He shared this as well. And I will happily respond to any emails, direct messages I get on Facebook or Instagram. If you are concerned, if you're out there wheeling and dealing with your tarot decks, please know that I will respond to you. I'm not just saying that and then ignoring people's messages. I have also, sorry, we're just gonna, just a little touch up here. So that's what I want to say about that. And that's the reason why I didn't share it on YouTube. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let me see if I've missed anything in the chat. And then we need to get to our regular Playdate agenda. We've had a lot of people join us. Welcome to anyone who is new here. I appreciate that you found me. I'm sorry if you found me under these circumstances, but I hope you'll come and I hope you'll stay, because we have a lot of fun here. Okay, you guys ready? Thank you, Becca, for posting and sharing that as well. I know quite a few people have been sharing this out so that people do not get taken for a ride, because that is not cool. Just, I mean, there are no other words, right? Not cool. So, but it should be really interesting to see what card we get this week. So that's how the Wheel of Fortune played out for me. I don't know about any of the rest of y'all, but if you want to share your stories, in the meantime, for those who are new, and then we have some old hats here who can show you how it's done. At the beginning of Playdate every week, I like to collect a list of 5 questions that we will use our card of the week to answer. So we do it as a study way, right? A way that we can apply the same card and answer different questions so that we can apply the context of the question to the card. And a lot of, at first it started out as a generic thing, or, oh, just give me a question you could answer with a single card. And what it has evolved into with this group is people really throwing out questions they want this card to answer. It helps if you put it in all caps. So the first 5 questions that I get, we will answer throughout the course of Playdate. So my Playdaters, bring on your questions. And in the meantime, I'll drink some probably ill-advised additional coffee. Oh my gosh, Emily, you're going to make me write for an hour. But that's how it's done right there. Okay, so we have Emily and Saskia showing you what to do here. Okay, so let's get to writing, Jen. All right, so from Emily, we have, how can we best work with ancestors and dearly departed to deepen our connections this autumn/fall? Leading up to Samhain. Okay, I get what you're doing there. All right, that's a great question. How can we best work with ancestors and dearly departed to deepen our connections? And I read out loud mostly so that there's no dead air, because that bothers me. And also so you make sure I'm getting the question right. Our connections this autumn/fall in the lead up to Samhain. Practically and spiritually is implied, because got to get on to that next question. Thank you, Emily, for asking that. All right, so then I had one from Saskia, who's newer to Playdate. I'm so glad to see you back. What should we focus on for the start of September? Hi, Kay, nice to see you in here. And anyone else who's come in, what should we focus on for the start of October? I know I'm a little frazzled and frantic, but I'll mellow out here in just a second. I did put on a grounding a grounding crystal bracelet. I've been running kind of ragged. I woke up to a bit of a social media storm, so I got a little distracted and so made myself run late this morning. All right, from Sandra at the Whispering Well. Oh my gosh. Okay, where did it go? There it is. How can we be supportive of our friends this week? I love that, Sandra. Okay, how can we be supportive of our friends this week? All right, 2 more questions and we'll get to draw on our card. All right, from Neem, Essence 818. How do we maintain a positive outlook in the most negative of times? Yes, something I strive very hard to do. Maintain a positive outlook in the most negative. I'm trying to write as fast as I can, folks. In the most negative of times. And then finally, I'm sure there's one more in here, right? How can we stay healthy? All right, Oak Mama, thank you. If anybody else asks questions after that, hopefully you'll be back next week and you'll bring your question for me. Thank you all once again. This would break down completely if you guys didn't ask questions. All right, let's get to shuffling our ever decreasing in size. Jenna's feeling the heat too bad. The sun has already shut up. Otherwise, I would have guessed that. Mindy says, oh, I'm thinking we need justice. Oh, I do believe that kind of what goes around, it comes around. I believe in the concept of karma. And that is why I'm trying really hard to do the right things here. All right. I missed a lot of the chat, but I want to get to shuffling here and get to the good stuff. Oh, Wendy's going to be able to hang out with us for most of Playdate. That's great. All right. If I missed anything good, you guys know what to do. Oh, is somebody being petty in the chat? Okay, now, folks, we take the high road here. We try really hard to take the high road here. Okay, although that won't stop me from warning others of what they need to avoid, because that's also the high road, is protecting each other, right? Shane, I know you're looking out for me. All right, so as I shuffle here, this is, in a few weeks, I'm not going to be able to riffle shuffle this. And you know what's going to happen when I start hand over hand shuffling? We're just going to start throwing cards all over the place. So from Emily, how can we best work with ancestors and dearly departed to deepen our connections this autumn fall in the lead up to Samhain? From Saskia, what should we focus on for the start of October? From Sandra at the Whispering Well, how can we be supportive of our friends this week? From Essence 818, how do we maintain a positive outlook in the most negative of times? And finally, how can we stay healthy? All right, you ready? Okay, here we go, folks. This is going to be fun. Keep it nice. Stay on the high road, whatever it is. Oh, how perfect is that? How freaking perfect is it that we just got the 5 of Cups? Because this has been such a focus. I'm sorry, you guys, you just can't really help but like get my energy into these cards sometimes. Is it dropsies or is it card confetti? Right? All right. So first, Obama, I knew it. So tell me what your first impressions are when you see this card. Like, what do you feel? And we have a few like, yep, saw that coming. Anybody like, oh, bummer. I think this is going to be a great card to answer our questions. So I'm just really quick grabbing our melanated version of this card because, you know, we like to look at both of them and I'm getting better and better about not forgetting. All right, here we go. So here's the melanated version of the 5 of Cups. So Simon says right away, healing from loss. Marge, Leanne is saying, woo. I'm going to hear like, woo, right? Wendy, focus on the 2 cups remaining, right? Got to look at those 2 cups. No, it's, let's see. Elizabeth, oh, Deirdre's disappointed. But we do have to get through every one of the cards, right? That's very true. Chris says Jilly pulled this card for him yesterday. Mourning and grief, of course. I mean, you did kind of ask about lost ones and ancestors. Lost ones? Lost loved ones. Disappointment is water under the bridge, says Robin. Loss, regret, disappointment, says Oak Mama. Lord of Loss and Pleasure is the esoteric title from Jonathan. Yeah, isn't this pretty? Like, it's, this has this real gray sadness. This is kind of bringing in a bit more optimism, I think, for me in this particular card, but we'll keep talking about this. Mindy says, don't cry over spilled milk is what always pops in my head when I see this card. Yep, absolutely. Simon says, loss allows for new opportunities. One door closes, another one opens. Exactly. Disappointment, says Donna. Jackie says, gives losses or grieve losses to allow for new opportunities. Neem says, the main message, let's see, was take the high road. Oh, that I gave was to take the high road. I'm trying, I'm trying. Let's see, ignoring what's spilled, despair. Be sad, be angry, but try to see what is also possible, says Longman Tarot. Emily says it's very cathartic to allow tears to fall and release the pain. Shane, I don't know too much about it, but I'm always drawn to the dark sky and the long black cloak, right? It evokes a feeling and an emotion, which makes sense for this card, I think. Chris Elemental Cartomancy says emotions are up in the air and it is blinding us from seeing the good that remains, tendency to focus on the negative. Sometimes, yeah. Wendy, let the tears of emotion flow away in the river and fill up with the love and positive. Live in the cups that are standing upright. Am I saying that right? Neem Essence 818, look up and ahead or turn around, but don't stay with your head hung low, mourning what's gone. Look at other positivity. Shanti Diva, hello. What is the name of the tarot? This is the Melanated Classic Tarot by Julia Goolsby and Ubria, I want to make sure I say that right, Tron Shaw. And this is a fully melanated deck. So we like to get a little extra inclusion here in Tarot Playdate, but I still want to hold true to the original RWS as we explore each of these cards. Let's see, Ginger Faye, ancestors grieving, but look to what the energy is they have left us. Yes, and we will address that question more specifically when I pull one of my alternative cards too. So we're going to look at other, for those of you who are new, I pull other decks from my collection and we look at other versions of this. So we're not going to just stare at these two cards the whole time. Loss can lead to learning and hope, says Kay. Jesse, I think of this as the miscarriage card or other loss. Oh, that's really sad. That's really sad. Elizabeth, the lesson to be learned, whoa, chat jumped again, with this card is that with loss also comes change, and with change, opportunity. Simon at the Hermit's Cave says, when we have to let go of something, it can be difficult to disassociate from certain things, and so we feel empty when it's gone. Oh, that's a really interesting perspective on this card, Simon. Emily, yes, truth is I asked what I asked because out of nowhere this afternoon, I felt a presence from a dearly departed member of my family who passed almost a year ago. I was overcome with tears. Oh, wow, Emily, that's powerful. Let's see. I'm going to have to, you guys are chatty today. So Jonathan, the esoteric title speaks about spiritual growth. I'm not quite sure. 2 in the number of cups was full of happiness and joy. The 5 shows that it was not all it was hyped up to be. You begin to feel dissatisfied with the pleasures. Ooh. Leslie says, hi, Leslie. It is time to be with the grief. Face the 3 overturned cups. The 2 full cups are there when you are ready. Another really great way to look at this card. Let's see. Drop of Golden Tarot. I always think of having a pity party, one that is totally justified, but also the reminder not to live there, right? I mean, that's just depressing to stay there forever, isn't it? So Myrna says, look to the unspilled while acknowledging the spilled. Simon says, if we can deal with the loss and heal from it, we create a space for something new to come into our lives. This is the thing, like this is always the take that I want to take on it. But I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. I'm going to read a few more comments and then share some of my thoughts here. Jonathan, we see the consequences of prolonged apathy, 4 cups. We may lose something from our lives. It could be a relationship, a job, or something that we love to do. Oak Mama says it reminds me of survivor's guilt. He's come back and sees ruin. Oh, that's really interesting as well. Jamie says, sounds like this card really strikes a chord with most of us. Yeah, this is, this is a card, isn't it? Jonathan, the deep reflection of the 4 of Cups. You keep saying 4, but do you mean 5? May also bring about a desire to remove something from our lives that no longer is needed. We may feel that we no longer wish to be in the relationship. Essence 818, in the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcana, the person on the card actually has a teardrop. Amazing how that teardrop really accentuates the feeling of grief. Oh, that sounds like a beautiful card. I don't have that deck yet. I don't have that deck yet. T-Cat says, Five of Cups is usually someone feeling regret or sadness over something that was lost or went wrong. This can also refer to mourning period over someone that we had to say goodbye to. Susie, I always see it as looking back and not forward. Drop a golden tarot. When I focus on the 2 cups that are still upright, I think of the Shel Silverstein poem, Listen to the Mustn'ts. Listen to the Mustn'ts. Oh, I don't remember that poem, but I'm guessing it's in like Where the Sidewalk Ends or something like that. Wiccan 222, the mind immediately shuffles through its memory banks to dredge up something that we should have anxiety about. The trance begins, and pretty soon 20 minutes have gone by, leaving you feeling like crap about yourself. Oh, so, you know, it's really interesting because obviously the context of the question is really going to matter. I immediately, when I see this card come up, the first thing I think of is it's like, okay, I'm dwelling on the negative, or I'm feeling sad about something, and I need to look at those 2 cups. And I have a personal tendency to immediately try to move through the bad, through the pain, deal with it, solve the problem. I'm a problem solver, right? So I'm like, okay, I gotta get turned away from these 3 cups as quickly as possible so that I can focus on these 2 cups and leave those behind. That's kind of my general rule. But what I would say to people like me is sometimes you actually do have to sit in those emotions. You have to allow yourself to feel it, allow yourself to be sad, disappointed, to grieve, to be frustrated. Because if you move away from that too fast, then maybe you really haven't dealt with it and it's going to resurface at some point later. So sometimes I feel like as much as I want to take that optimistic approach, this card can often be a reminder to me to sit with my feelings for a minute, but just don't hang out there too long, which is not typically a problem for me, but still, you know, sometimes we can't, we just you gotta allow yourselves to work through it or allow ourselves, I guess. All right, what else do you guys have to say? Justin Michael, hello. Let's see. Oh, Jonathan, not getting much sleep last night. That's the thing with kids. Wendy says, I had this come up in a reading and got the song Cry Me a River, and it turned out the person had just lost a loved one. Oh, no. Regina Tarot, sorrow over a loss and danger of ignoring the positive things you still have to build on, right? We don't want to get stuck in that place. Gracia, 5 of Cups, frowny face, but it makes sense here. We've all decided, well, have we all decided? A good majority of us, at least, have decided that this card is very appropriate today. Fathom 5 Tarot. The move from the 4 to the 5 is interesting. It's like the 4 is deliberately not looking at all the cups he has, but the 5 is having difficulty seeing the cups he has, right? It is interesting how we move through each of the suits. The difference between taking things for granted and being lost in the sadness of Fathom 5. Exactly. Mendy at least gets what I was trying to say, so thanks, Mendy. Esoteric, yeah, Lord of Loss in Pleasure, John T. I think Jonathan said that too. And the esoteric title, are you getting that from like a different system, like the Thoth or the Toth? Because I'm not as familiar with that. We need our pain, Captain Kirk, says Susie. Does he say that in Star Trek? Is that actually something that's said? Robin, when I see the red and green liquids and the yellow cups, I think of traffic lights, stop, go, and caution, rules of the road and our movement forward. So here in this card in particular, Robin, interesting. And I'm going to pull this up close and we're going to dive deep a little bit more into each of the symbols of the card here as soon as we get sort of our generic interpretations out of the way here. Longman Tarot says, I sometimes wonder whether the person has kicked those 3 cups over in a fit of rage over what has happened and then feeling bad for their actions. Ooh, that's an interesting thing to compliment. Like, did he just literally have a temper tantrum and he's looking down? Well, now look what I've done. You know? That's a really fun, kind of interesting, different way to look at this card. I never thought about it like that. Jennifer, Rebecca, hello. Red Bean B. I don't know if I said hello to you. If I haven't said hi to you, it's really nice to see everyone here. We're gonna have fun. We're looking at 2 cups today. Jonathan says the 3 cups spilled in front of them, symbolizing something has been lost, has left, or has been removed. The 2 cups remaining symbolize something that still remains, what we have not lost. Exactly. Pamela Ramsey says the white bridge is above the upright cups, indicating perhaps that those cups could be instrumental in moving forward. Oh, yes, right here. Oh, yes. I'm gonna pull this closer too, so make sure everybody can kind of see the different symbols you all are pointing out here, or different depictions on the card. The focus, oh, I read that. Stephen Palmer says, agreed. The person is looking at the empty cups rather than the 2 full cups. This suggests the focus is on the loss rather than the cups that still remain. Mindy's nerding out on Star Trek. Okay. Let's see here. All right, let me pull this up close. Oh, Magdalena Hill, that's a new name. Welcome. You need to take your time to work through pain so then you can look at the past 6 of cups without being triggered by the pain that was just pushed deeper instead of accepted and acknowledged. Robin says, definitely a card of regrets. Essence 818, it's not just about getting out, it's also about coming to terms with what you feel. Loss, grief, pain doesn't happen and you immediately look for the out. All right, so let's pull this up close and let's look at some of the symbols and let me know if you see anything in this card that you haven't seen before. Like, for example, have some of you not noticed the bridge? All right, we're gonna stay, there's nothing much happening in the sky there. So we have the bridge, we have the building. My camera doesn't want to focus. And we do have different colors of liquid there. We certainly have our stream of emotions. So there's not a ton in this card. And then I'll do the same here with the melanated, which always does a really nice job of keeping the same imagery, but with the beautiful, bright colors. I love this deck so much. So there we have the different colored liquid there as well. All right. So Jonathan said, the bridge connects 2 lands separated by a river. The river is our life experiences. You never step in the same river twice. Guess that's true, right? Water is completely different every time you step in it. Simon says, the ruin, the march of time. So back here is the ruin. Oh, interesting. The march of time, like the overturned cups. If you view it as an intact castle, then it's a goal to reach by crossing the bridge. Oh, that's really interesting that we can look at that either way, right? We can look at that as something that's a goal to move forward, or we can look at it as something that has passed. That's clever. So Mandy says, I've never noticed the bridge before. There's always something in each of these cards. The one that still gets me is when we had the 6 of cups and the kind of the guy way off in the background that a lot of us didn't know was there. Essence 818, a bridge over troubled water. Oh, you guys ready to post some songs in the Playdate Facebook group now? Is the water troubled? Well, to me, it looks like the stream is moving fairly smoothly, but there's some waves in there. It's not entirely easy going, but maybe it's not impossible to cross, right? Yes, just like how we view the cups. Exactly, Simon. Any other thoughts on the symbols or the colors? What do we think about the different colors? Do we think that means anything, or does our handy dandy ultimate guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot address that in any kind of way? Susie says he has an orb on melanated, like a thought spelling, like this right here, right? There's certainly a glow about him. And I think that's partially why this card almost feels like I would be more likely to take it in the positive way. Like, it's okay, just turn around, look at the other cups, it's all gonna be fine. And here, I feel like this sits in the sadness just a little bit more. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm not lost, am I? I really don't want to be lost again. Let's see here. I'm wondering if it's, I'm checking, buffering here too. Okay, I think I might be back. Am I back? All right. Refresh all. Okay. Cross your fingers that this does not get crazy. All right, let me pause that again over there. Goodness. I mean, it's not a play date anymore without a bit of buffering, is it? All right, I lost a whole bunch of folks, but hopefully y'all refresh and come back. All right, Deidre had said here, it looks like water and blood, maybe a reference to blood is thicker than water. Okay. All right. Elle says, after going inward on the Four of Cups and working through abandoning maladaptive coping mechanisms, thoughts and emotions born from trauma, you've lost, although negative, your way of coping and survival. Ooh, very interesting. It's good to see you too, Essence. Emily says, just saying that the sky is very somber and like a pathetic fallacy in art or literature. Saskia says, am I right, or asks, am I right to think of the bridge as the help in whatever form that is there when you need it to get over those feelings? Robin says, I need to have a bottle of Buffrin ready at hand. Could you just feed that to YouTube so that this does not happen? Thought it was wine. Oh, do we have wine? Now, I would be very sad if my wine spilled out of my cup. Pathetic or prophetic? Asks Folk Mama. Simon says, the upturned cup, something painful has passed. Upright cup, something new is waiting. T-Cat, with this card, I usually think that sadness is very needed there. I did read that comment earlier. Was it right when I was buffering? With this card, I usually think that sadness is very needed there to kind of clean your emotional taste buds so that you can feel better afterwards and learn from whatever made you feel blue. And just as I started to buffer, I was talking about how I am learning that I want to be able to apply whatever grief or loss or sadness or disappointment or frustration or whatever it might be that I experience and be able to use that and move forward with it, right? I don't want to hang out staring at those 3 cups for too long. I just need to make sure sometimes that I don't rush through it. Upturned, overturned. I just thought it was a British saying, Simon, to be honest. All right, and then let's see. I'm about to pull another card here. Emily's Tarot Magic, pathetic fallacy is in human meaning projected upon bad weather or natural conditions that seem dark or somber. Interesting. Hazel Jane Tarot, do the cups spilled have different things in them? Wine and water, right? Quite potentially. So 2 of them have, in this card, 2 of them have red liquid, where the other one has something that looks, someday when it focuses, but, something blue or grayish here. And then here we see kind of something similar, right? Where we have kind of darker red liquid here and then blue liquid here. So is there inequity in what is being spilled out of the cups? Are 2 of them more important and one of them less important, but still a bummer? Maybe there's that. Did the cups fall over or fall down? It totally depends on if you are in the UK or the US. Regina Tarot, we need to ignore that the ground beneath the central figure's feet is solid. It will remain as the emotions pass, like the river. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. That's a great observation. Okay, so we have some other cards to dive into and some questions to answer. Full disclosure, usually when I randomly select 5 decks from my collection, and I work through, and then once I get through all the decks, then I start all over again, and I use a random name generator to pull them. But I completely forgot to do this last night, so usually I have them all in order. So I probably have 2 or 3 decks that I'm going to have to quickly look through in order to find the card. But I'll be speedy, and you can chat and reflect on the cards as I do it. But it shouldn't take too long. So the first alternative deck that I have today is my very trusted Everyday Witch with my cheesy little backs. Oh, I got the 4 of Cups right away. So let me find in here the 5 of Cups. Many of you may already know what it looks like. 8, 5 of Swords. There it is. And let's see if this card sort of brings anything different out for you when you look at this version of the card. So here we go. And then I'll get caught up on the chat here. So let's get some focus. Balloons, windy day, no kitty up there eating the lobster. Look at that spread that she has behind her. But oh, her wine spilled. That's sad. That's really sad. Let's see. What is the line going horizontally through the cups? Was that here? I'm not sure what you mean. So you'll have to tell me if I missed something there. And Jonathan had said the bridge makes me think of the phrase, build a bridge and get over it, right? Esoteric titles first appeared in McGregor Mather's book, the founder of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. See, this is one of those things that I recently said in my Q&A video. Like, I need to learn a lot more about the Golden Dawn history and associations, because there's so much to dive into there. Sandra says, I like the choosy little backs. I kind of hate them, but they have, I mean, at least I did in the beginning. Now they have grown on me. And I made my edging yellow to kind of match, you know, the broom and the stars. So I kind of enjoy that. Anyway, back to the front of the card. Beth's New Traditions Tarot. Learn to look at the big picture. We can become so myopic that we cannot, or myopic, that we cannot see the good energy and potential that still remains. Susie, it's my party and I can cry if I want to. Oh, I want to sing that so bad right now. I don't want to scare off all the new folks, so maybe I'll refrain. Wendy, this deck is on my wish list. Pamela, oh, picnic blanket? Jonathan, that card makes me think of home. I've been to many parties that looked just like that, right? You know, so like, how did the cups end up there? What do you think? And look at everything that she's missing. Look at that fabulous feast. And she's here staring at those. I mean, there's a whole bottle left right up here, right? Drop of Golden Tarot says, it reminds me of that kid that invites everyone in the class to her birthday party and no one shows up. Oh, that's sad. It's a lonely and isolated feeling. Yeah, that is true. Like maybe, and somebody brought this up in the last card, right? Maybe she knocked those cups over. She's like, nobody showed up, and she knocked all the cups on the ground, right? Val's noting she doesn't have any friends at her party. Hi, Inked Witchy Girl. Nice to see you. Dropsies. That does look like something I would do, but probably not on purpose. Just totally accidental. Chris says that cat so pushed those glasses over. Have you seen there's like YouTube videos of a little cat like that's just like, and then the person who's filming it like, no, and the cat, and off it goes. Emily, yes, it makes me think of childhood and family dinners and parties by the sea in Sussex, not anywhere exotic, but still the sea is relevant. Val says maybe she made someone angry or hurt them and they left. Ooh, yeah, so maybe she was being kind of a spoiled brat and everyone left, right? There's so much we could interpret in this card, again, depending on the context of our question, right? Robin says the tide has turned along with the cups. Yeah. So, okay, I'm so gonna pronounce this, but hi, is it Jorg? Is the B silent? Org? Is the J silent? I am so sorry, but you just showed up and I want to say hello. Emily says, for me, it's very nostalgic. T-Cat, this card is so cute, though it looks like the girl is having a pity party for herself. Nobody came to my birthday. Next time I will publish the invitation on Facebook. I maybe have felt a little bit sad on some holidays when it's been a little extra quiet. I may have been guilty of this. Yikes. Stephen, we don't know what those cups and their contents mean to her. I assume they are important, otherwise she wouldn't be so affected, right? And that's another thing to remember. Like if we're looking at somebody from afar and we're judging how they feel or how they're reacting to a situation, we very likely do not have the whole story. And so we have to be very careful about applying our judgments in those situations, right? Elle says the red blood being spilt in the cup, blood in quotes, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb bonds that you've made by choice, as opposed to the people that you are bound to by blood. Oh, that one gave me chills, Elle. I can relate to what you are saying there. That is really interesting. Hi, Brand Moo Baby. Better late than never. We're only into our first alternative card, so you haven't missed too much. Yep, it's my party. Okay, wait, I said I wasn't going to sing. All right. Justin Michael, with this, it would have made more sense if Pixie drew 2 cups dumped and left 3 up behind. How would that change the meaning, though? We have more cups that are spilled than upright. So that kind of gets us to think a certain way about this card. But if we had more cups upright than spilled, does that make our grief more dramatic or maybe less warranted? Interesting. Tell me more what you're thinking there, Justin. But it really, to me, that would very much change how I look at and read this card. Jonathan says, you may not be the one who chooses to let go. You might be on the opposite end of this and end up being let go by another. The challenge of both scenarios is moving on and not fixating on what was lost. But again, maybe taking that moment to recognize your feelings. This is a feelings card after all. But yes, isn't blood thicker than water? I mean, literally it is. I don't know so much about figuratively. Let's see. Shane taught me that he gets creds. Oh, Shane's a smart one when he comes to diving into really seeing outside the box on things. If I can brag about my own kid for just a second. Justin says, I don't 100% agree with that interpretation. I feel it stands for significant, difficult loss. Fair enough. L, Oak Mama, blood is thicker than water is actually a misquote from that larger quote. I was shook when I found out. Excuse? Wow, interesting. Robin, the figure seems to be looking beyond the cups, deep in thought and regret while watching the flow of the river, right? So, like, is her focus, is it really not these that are the primary focus of her attention? And these are just more kind of physically represented here, but there's more going on. She's looking out further. That's a very interesting observation. Essence 818, Justin Michael, to me, 3 dumped makes sense to me because you cannot always replace what's lost, nor may it be better than what's lost. But there's something to gain in the other 2 cups upright. Bjorg, that is very close to how you say my name. No silent letters. For an English speaker, I think you did perfect. Oh, thank you. I tried it a different way. I did no English. I made the J like a Y. Bjorg. Am I closer? Thank you. I like to get it right. I want people to be seen here. All right, Susie, no one goes through life without problems or pain, but you can always remind yourself that the future can be redefined. Jesse says, I see it as significant loss that needs to be grieved. This is, again, you guys are highlighting so perfectly what I love about what we do here in Playdate. As we look at all of these different cards, we get so many different perspectives and ways of looking at each of these cards based on either our own experiences in life as readers. I just appreciate all that you all bring, all the differing viewpoints. And this is why I'm so far behind on making my notes, because it's very daunting. Jonathan, you cannot ignore the 2 remaining cups you still have. All is not doom and gloom in the 5 of cups. You still have something to walk away with. If you don't focus on what you have, you may lose it. Like the kitty might eat your food. You know, if I turned my back on this and any of my animals could reach the table, I would come back to no food. And then I'd have no wine and no food, right? Red Bean B says she is reflecting in her mishap. Okay, I think this is a good time to pause and let's answer Emily's question. So Emily asked, how can we best work with ancestors and dearly departed to deepen our connections this autumn fall in the lead up to Samhain? So how would you answer that question? How can we best work with our ancestors and dearly departed to deepen our connections this autumn fall in the lead up to Samhain? What does this say to you? And T-Cat said, kitty eating the birthday cake. That is very tragic. Isn't it, though? Essence.